Navy retained the escort shield after beating Army 21-14 in a closely fought encounter this afternoon at Albert Park. It was deja vu for Navy, having faced the Army side in the finals last year as well. Shelvin Chand reports.
Navy played with dedication and discipline. Both sides were equally matched, but it was Navy's experience that saw them through. At times, Army had Navy pinned on their line, but they didn't give in and held on to win the escort shield.
My key factor is discipline, and told the players to hold on to the ball for the 80 minutes. Then the gap will appear for the score and all the penalties.
Navy kept their cool in the tough encounter despite the hard hits by Army. This is something the coach had drilled into the boys.
I told them to keep their cool and play defensive rugby. As our approach are very strong, and so I told them to play clever rugby. And if you can see today, until the end of the last 15 minutes, then we had a card. So I told them to keep their cool and play control rugby.
For Army, it was a good effort and a lesson to be learned. They have promised that they will be back next year, stronger and wiser.
A bunch of young boys. I think next year will be another year for us. It will be matured, and then we'll see next year when it comes.
It was a fitting final to the 99th year of the Escort Shield, the oldest rugby competition in the country. The next step now is getting a formidable Suva team together to face Nandronga for the Fairbrother Cup. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Thundergal fended off Northland's challenge for the Fairbrother Cup by thrashing them 32-5 in what was mostly a one-sided affair. Thundergal playing at Lawanga Park was never easy to beat. Now the Stallions are gearing to face Suva. Meanwhile, there will be celebrations in Namosi tonight. Namosi have made it back into the top flight of rugby after beating Rewa 43-6 in a 6-try blitz. Namosi, laced with Sevens reps Levani Botia, Chochi Rangamate and Ilaitinai, proved too strong and established that they deserve to be in rugby's top grade. Woes continue for Rewa as they have not been able to win any games this year. The loss today was Rewa's 10th straight for the season. Namosi now gears to face rugby's big boys next year. Rugby League has a new champion as McCoy Bulldogs beat Sambeto Roosters 12-10 to win the Vodafone Cup for the first time. The Bulldogs hit hard and dominated play from the start. The underdogs are the big dogs of the game now. As promised by the Bulldogs, the Vodafone Cup goes to Nasinu and its people who rallied behind the team from the start.
We've trained the boys to have guts, to go up front and hard hits in order for us to win the game.
To have a good team, you need a good coach. This is the only way to develop rugby league in Fiji. That's the view of a South Sydney Raptors representative who's in the country scouting for talent. Akasita Tale has more.
Canberra-based recruiting manager Mark Hughes is in the country to select the best, and he says Fiji has a lot to offer. He believes it all comes down to basic skill and the development of young players. But to achieve this, time and energy is needed, not just to help players reach their goals, but most importantly, to understand the game better.
You've got to have good coaching and you have to get the boys young so that they develop properly. So sometimes even though they're quick or strong and powerful, they don't have the basic structures to fall back on when they're under pressure in games.
From what he's seen so far, Hughes is impressed.
I've never been about just coming over and taking one of the best boys. So for the future, we want to build a group of boys, maybe even promote an academy where the boys can be seen. And if I can't take them, maybe some of the other rugby league clubs can.
Meanwhile, 15-year-old Maris Brothers candidate Lionel Manua says he is privileged to have been shortlisted.
It feels good knowing that I've been chosen, especially at my very young age.
New and upcoming players have been scouted, and only time will tell who rises to be the next Fijian stars to rub shoulders with professional players in the NRL. Akusita Tale, FBC Sports.
The Fiji women's hockey team put on a gutsy show this afternoon as they held the touring New Zealand Masters 1-1 at the National Hockey Centre. Shelvin Chand has more.
After losing the first two matches, the Fiji girls picked up, learned from their mistakes and showed that they meant business. It was a youthful Fiji against a much experienced New Zealand side.
1-1, better than a loss. Had many chances, missed a few, but I was happy with more chances that we created and better defense today.
Fiji showed commitment and they were relentless in their defense as they pinned the Kiwis in their half in the second spell. The games against the Kiwis have provided the hockey coaches an idea on what needs to be done as they prepare for the Oceania and World Series.
The Kiwis play really fast hockey and very structured, and something that we can take away from this game. It's good to see that our girls stepped up in the last game, managed a draw. We had 2 losses earlier, more chances than the Kiwis today, so happy.
For the Kiwis, there could be no excuses as they admitted that the Fiji girls have improved.
I thought the Fijian women, we expected to have a better game in the heat and all that sort of stuff, and part of the week's been to develop hockey here. We've developed our game, and we saw today that the Fijian girls have stepped up quite nicely as well, so very chuffed to see that they're sort of hitting the straps going towards their major tournament coming up, so that's good.
The tour has yielded results for both the Kiwis and Fiji. Fiji can hold up its head high and continue to improve as they get ready for the world stage. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.